You know, there's a fairy tale about the prince that was a frog. But when she puts...
I call him a frog.
Yeah, well, when you put that ring on him,
yeah,
he'll turn into Prince Charming. I doubt very much it's going to happen.
Well, actually, Sophie's mum, you might just be surprised. Rob might be a Prince Charming after all. Who'd have thought?
Oh, wow. That looks cosy. Thanks, Rob.
You're welcome.
Oh, you've even turned it like the hotels. Oh.
Wait, what parallel universe have we all woken up in? Who could have possibly guessed that Sophie's mum would be comparing Rob's hospitality and apartment to a hotel? Now, before we get to Rob's change of personality, let's rewind back to the start. So, the last time we saw Rob and Sophie, they were having the worst argument we've seen them have so far, and that's saying something. Sophie was begging Rob to change his ways. She was begging him to stop being so defensive and childish. She desperately wanted him to take accountability for the memes that he'd been posting about her. And when we join them in this episode, it sounds like they may have actually had a breakthrough.
The 90 days has been a very crazy and just very mentally exhausting process, but I feel like after everything, me and Rob are finally at a point where, we're seeing each other's side.
Hallelujah! With the way that these two constantly argue, the fact that they've been able to go even just a couple of days without being at each other's throats may be a sign that things are actually looking up for these two. And just in the nick of time, you might say, because their wedding is now only 5 days away. So how are their wedding preparations going?
You looking forward to getting your flowers?
Yeah, it's the last thing that we have to do for the wedding, so...
Okay, let's go get some flowers.
Right, so clearly there's a lot more to worry about than just flowers. Did anyone else feel there that you could cut the tension with a knife? Now, the last time that Sophie saw her mum, she had just told her that she was bisexual, and her mum was trying to use that as a reason to not marry Rob. She's made her feelings about him pretty clear time and time again, and today is not the exception.
Where is he anyway?
He's just at home.
Hey, did he drop you off?
Yeah.
So why didn't you come in?
I think obviously it's a bit awkward.
Not even 2 minutes into their conversation, and Sophie's mum is already bitching about Rob. Yeah, I can definitely see why Sophie's acting a little reserved here. Now that she and Rob have apparently sorted out their differences, the last thing that she needs to hear just days before her wedding is more negativity. But Sophie doesn't want to go there with her mum. She's putting up a barrier. And it's no surprise because to the camera crew, yet again, Sophie's mum lets her true feelings about Rob be known.
Oh my God, why don't you just grow a pair? That is the most childish... someone at college, I would expect that of. He's a grown-ass man.
Now, to play devil's advocate, I don't think that Sophie's mum would have been satisfied if Rob had joined them. She says that all she wanted was for him to pop his head in the door and say hello. But in reality, I think no matter what Rob would have done, she'd have probably found an issue with it. Knowing their history, it probably would have ended in yet another argument. But seeing as Rob isn't present to have it out with her, instead, she starts to ask Sophie about their recent spats.
Have you been arguing?
No, I mean, we are both trying to prioritise peace before the wedding, so I think we're just avoiding everything that's going to cause drama.
On the one hand, it's great to hear that Rob and Sophie are taking things with a lighter heart. They're choosing not to fight over everything the other one says. But, on the other hand, it is kind of wild to hear that they still have to go to such lengths just to maintain peace for a few days. It's not exactly the tactic you imagine a happy couple just about to marry would have to employ. Hardly a fairy tale romance, as Sophie's mum swiftly points out.
You know, there's a fairy tale about the prince that was a frog. But when she puts...
I call him a frog.
Yeah, well, when you put that ring on him,
yeah,
he'll turn into Prince Charming. I doubt very much it's going to happen.
Right or wrong, Sophie's mum really knows how to sell a story. She's always got a very powerful, very persuasive anecdote to go along with her opinions. Now, at the end of the day, what she's trying to convey, her message, is definitely worth listening to. Rob has a lot of work to do before he even comes close to being a Prince Charming. But Sophie doesn't want to hear that.
I don't really want to just sit and talk rubbish about someone I'm marrying, so I kind of wish she would kind of be a bit more easier on him and, you know, be excited for my wedding day.
And while Sophie may be better off listening to her mum, what's evident at this point is her choice is made. She's marrying Rob. There's no backing out of this now. All of her doubts appear to have been erased overnight. But if we've seen how things can change in a night, well, it's interesting that tonight, Sophie's mum is going to be staying with them. She's having a slumber party with Rob and Sophie, it seems. And I can just smell trouble, and I'm not the only one.
Well, after we have 3 people and a dog in here, I don't want to hear about how small the room is from you or her.
All right, that's fine.
After all of Sophie's mum's trash talk about Rob's apartment, it's pretty hilarious that she's now looking to shack up with them for the night. You've got to question if this was encouraged by the production crew. Like, why would she just give up her hotel room? Well, whatever the truth, you can definitely see why Rob is concerned. And since he feels that she was rude to him last time she was here, now he's taking the chance to return that favour.
Hi. Oh, damn it. No one wants to help me, no?
You got a big ass
coming. Hello.
suitcase.
That, Rob, was your chance to prove that you can be a Prince Charming, or at least be gentlemanly enough to help a damsel in distress. But Rob hardly even wants to look at her. So, in her signature blunt fashion, Sophie's mum decides to tackle the elephant in the room head on, whether he likes it or not.
I can clearly tell you don't want me to stay, but
I'm inviting you in to stay here. Just please keep the not enough space jokes to a minimum.
Watching these 3 navigate not just a small apartment, but also the awkwardness that stems from Sophie's mum and Rob's dislike for each other is absolutely brutal. But I've got to hand it to her mum. She is willing to let bygones be bygones. It's just that Rob isn't in the same boat. He's being very standoffish.
Rob, I'm willing to, just forget everything that's happened. I don't even want an apology. I just think, let's just...
So what do you want?
She wants to be civil with you, Rob. For Sophie's sake, she wants you both to just pretend that you can tolerate each other, even if just for an evening. She really doesn't want to have to sleep with one eye open on her mattress on the floor. But unfortunately for her, it seems like what Rob wants is to completely ignore her existence until absolutely necessary. And his attitude is making everyone feel very uncomfortable.
He was just so rude. I felt very unwelcome. And yeah, I'd rather stick an epidural in the middle of my forehead. I just didn't want to be there. It was horrible.
Okay, that's one very extreme way to put it. Look, the way Rob's sulking around the house, the fact that he won't give up his bed so that Sophie and her mum can share, the way he ignored her when she asked for help with her bags, it's no wonder she feels uncomfortable. And when she asks Sophie privately outside if they can just go and get a hotel room, you can understand where that comes from, as much as it would be detrimental to Sophie and Rob's relationship.
You have to stay here tonight. Can't me and you go to a hotel?
No. I need to stay with Rob. We're just about to get married.
I'm not going to go at you, but you got to step up and make me feel comfortable.
Rob and Sophie's mum are constantly both trying to get one over on each other. And to be honest, I don't think it's Sophie's job to try and referee that. They're both adults. They're old enough to know better. They're old enough to know that their actions are hurting the person that they both love. It's Sophie who's stuck in the middle of all of this. And even though Sophie's mum doesn't appear as though she fully grasps that yet, thankfully, surprisingly, just in the nick of time, this realisation does now seem to be dawning on Rob.
I felt like the best that I could do was, set her bed up, get everything ready so she, if I was lacking in being welcoming, maybe I'd put some more effort into being more welcoming.
Who is this man and what has he done with the real Rob? Wow, he's displaying an uncharacteristic and surprising amount of maturity here. You've got to give it to him, and that was a quick turnaround too. Like, he really did just check himself there. And it turns out that that small gesture, that little bit of hot air, well, that was all Sophie's mum needed to begin to warm to him.
I actually handled that really badly. Really badly. I should have just ignored all the tension and just gone, yeah, I reacted. I felt awkward and uncomfortable.
I don't know what's in the water at Rob's apartment, but the fact that both Sophie's mum and Rob are now finally admitting their wrongdoings is pretty unbelievable. Who knew that all they needed to build bridges was a blow-up mattress? And when they decide to go inside, Sophie's mum even begins lavishing Rob with praise. She seems genuinely thankful for his hotel-quality hospitality.
Oh, wow. That looks cosy. Thanks, Rob.
You're welcome.
Oh, you've even turned it like the hotels. Oh.
I never thought I'd see the day where Rob's apartment was compared to a nice hotel, but here we are. And if that happened, who knows? Maybe Rob can turn out to be Sophie's Prince Charming after all. Right now, as it stands, it seems like Rob has all the right answers. He's even managing to please his biggest critic.
You excited, Rob? You're going to be a husband?
That's right. I've been waiting my whole life to be a husband.
That's really cute.
I have. I told her.
This might just be the first time that Rob has been truly affectionate towards Sophie in front of her mum. I'm pretty sure that from the moment they reunited, all focus was either on Rob and Sophie's mum's mutual dislike for each other or on Rob and Sophie's constant arguing. So the way that they're now being so sweet with each other, well, yeah, it's a different side to them. It's a glimpse into what life could be like if they were to just grow up a little bit. But the question is, can they maintain this picture-perfect image? How long can it possibly last before more insulting memes or more dark secrets come to light?